Alright, my friends, so in the last video we were able to get the information from the API, but we still got a problem, which is the repetition that we have right here. For example, if you can take a look here on let me close this one here, inside the user info and inside the photo list we are making two different requests, but we are using the exact same base URL. We have the exact same headers and so on. So this is some kind of repetition. We want to get rid of it. And in order for us to do so, we will do some refactoring right here. So let me show you. First of all, here inside my source folder, I'm gonna right click and choose a new folder. Call it anything that you want. You can call it Axios, call it API, call it server, call it whatever. Alright, in my case I'm just gonna call it Axios. Alright, like this. And here inside this folder I'm gonna right click and choose a new file. Let's call it, for example, api.js. Alright, I'm just gonna stick with this name right here, or you can call it whatever you want. Alright, and here I'm gonna use Axios, so I'm gonna import Axios from Axios. Alright, really straightforward. Now what is the benefit of this file? In this file I'm gonna create an instance of Axios. So I'm gonna create an instance of Axios and give it all these headers. I'm gonna give it the base URL, so I don't need to repeat them in multiple files. Alright, so this is the benefit of using this file right here. And now what I'd like to do, I'm just gonna call Axios dot, we have a method called create. We will create an instance, and here what we can go, we can give it immediately we can give it the configuration settings. Okay, and you remember you have to pass them inside an object. Alright, like this. So what is the setting that I want to what is the settings that I want to let's say add? Let me go back to the Unsplash API, scroll all the way to the top. Here they are telling us that the API is available on this thing right here. When you see something like the API is available and you can see a URL, or you will see, for example, the base URL for the API, and you will give you a URL. It is called the base URL. Alright, so this is like the first part of the endpoint that you want to make your request to. So let me show you. Here when we have created our Axios instance, we have a property called the base URL. Alright, in this case I'm just gonna steal it from this file right here. Now what is the thing that I'm gonna set it as my base URL? If you take a look here, we have https://api.unsplash.com. This part right here. It is being repeated in this file as well as in this file. Alright, so this is like the base URL. Alright, so I'm just gonna copy it. Now the base URL or the URL, it is or the part of the URL that it is the same in all files. Alright, and here I'm just gonna paste it. Alright, and after that what I'd like to specify, some headers. Alright, and headers, I'm just gonna say headers like this. And what is the headers that I want to say? Well, it is just the authorization right here, so we can copy it or cut it and paste it right here. And here we are making use of the API key, so that's why I have to copy it from here as well. So I'm just gonna copy it and paste it here on the top, and that should do the job for us. Now what I'd like to do, since I have created an instance of the Axios, once again in this file we are only putting the things that are the same in all the files. For example, the part of the URL up to this point is the same, which is the base URL. The headers are repeated in these two files, so these are can be extracted to a separate file. Alright, and here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna first of all get rid of the stuff that I have added in this file, which is the API key. I don't need it anymore. I'm gonna delete the base URL like this. I'm gonna delete the headers and all this custom stuff. We don't need them, and the file should be pretty simple. Once again, now here is the thing. Since here we need these settings, all right, here we need these headers, we need the base URL here inside our photo list component to make the request done. All right, so that's why what I'm going to do, I'm gonna delete axios. Okay, I'm not gonna use it anymore, and here I'm gonna import the file that I have created. So I'm just gonna say import ABI from, and I'm just gonna give it the path, all right, which will be axios/ABI. So I am importing ABI from this file right here, and once again here I have to export it. All right, so here on the top, I'm just gonna export my code, export default, and I'm gonna stick with what I have now. All right, and now here I'm just gonna go ahead and instead of saying axios.get, I'm just gonna say abi.get. all right, and that will do the job. So once again, I have imported what I have created in this file, which is the instance of axios, and here I said abi.get. okay, because here abi, it is the same axios, it is the same instance of axios, so we can do all the get and post and all these kind of stuff. All right, hopefully that make some of sense. Here we have the user info, we want to do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna first of all remove the ABI key. I'm gonna go ahead and delete the headers. I'm gonna delete the object for custom settings, we don't need it anymore. I'm gonna delete the comma, and here we need to do some modification. So first of all, I'm gonna delete the base URL, we don't need it, and I think that's it. Okay, because here we need to import the same thing. So I'm gonna import ABI from the ABI or the axios folder that we have it right here, and then instead of saying axios.get, I'm just gonna say abi.get. Now let's go ahead and take a review of what we did. First of all, we have a created custom folder called axios, and in this folder we will be adding anything that is reusable. We are gonna make it like an instance of axios. Okay, and here we have added the ABI key, we have added the headers. Once again, this file will hold any reusable piece that we need in all these folders and files. We don't need to repeat all of these in all the files, because we already know if we want to make a request to an ABI, we need the ABI key, we need the headers, we need the base URL. So these are like let's say they are the reusable pieces of in the entire the applications. So that's why put them in one file will make a lot of sense, and we can get rid of the repetition. And what we have did, we have exported because we want to use it in different files, and here we have just said ABI, which is the file or the function that we have right here. We are still using axios but with different name. All right, we have just called it abi.get, and we have given it /photos. This /photos will be added to the base URL, so it will be this URL /photos, and we are going to continue making the request. And once it's reached to user photos, we are going to make abi.get /users/username. That means this part right here will be concatenated to the base URL that we have it right here, and it will gonna continue the request. Now if we here we have a warning that says inside user info we are not using axios, so I'm gonna delete it, and we have our console crystal clear. If we switch back the web browser to our application, we can see we are doing the exact same thing. We are get the data back, and if I can't go back, we have the information, we have the images. We didn't change the functionality, we have just improved the code, we have just make it even more reusable. And now anytime in the future we want to make another request, we can go ahead and import the ABI, and we can make any GET request that we want. So this is the whole idea behind this video, which is just to organize and let's say make our code more readable. So hopefully that makes sense. Thank you my friends so much for watching. See you in the next one.